My dear students of honors second year belonging to different disciplines of Dhaka College. You know, I'm Rajiv Roy. I'm a lecturer of the Department of English at Dhaka College. Today I'm here to conduct a lecture on framing WH questions. So what is our target of discussion today? We will talk about framing WH questions. And before this class, I have already conducted 9 or 10 classes on right forms of verb, correction, and in order to complete these two topics, namely right forms of verb and correction, I conducted almost 9 or 10 classes. Today, I would like to start with a new topic. Today, I am going to start a new topic for you. And what is the name of the topic? Look at the board, dear students. And before starting, I have a request. If you face any kind of problem, regarding understanding me, please don't hesitate to ask me the question. Okay? And that's why you can use the comment box. And for your benefit, I would like to use some simple languages so that you can understand. So my dear students, what is our target of discussion today? Today I am going to talk about framing WH questions. And in order to understand framing WH questions, you have to understand some concepts. And I would like to conduct this class with simple languages because this is related to really a great interest. You will get really interest, or you will feel it interesting if you understand how to make questions. Look at the board. I am going to talk about framing WH question. Dear students, framing WH question, what does it mean? It means the process of making questions. It means the process of making questions. But there is something. Look at framing WH questions. That means you have to create interrogative sentence. You have to create interrogative sentence with the help of WH words. Some of the students or some of the teachers even say that WH questions. No. If you want to make WH questions, you must have to use WH words. So, WH question is one kind of question or interrogative sentence, and for this interrogative sentence, there is an obligation. And what is the obligation? You must have to use WH words at the beginning of the interrogative sentence. So, framing WH questions means to create an interrogative sentence with the help of WH words. And these WH words will take their position at the beginning of the sentence. So my dear students, we are going to start with WH words, and after WH words, you are requested to ensure a very standard structure of this sentence. That means you have to maintain a particular structure after WH words. So in order to have questions, in order to have WH questions, you must have to ensure the use of WH words, and these WH words will take their position at the beginning of sentences. So what are the WH words by which we are going to make questions? Okay, you can say, I am going to give you a list. I am going to give you a list of WH words, and with these WH words, we will try to create questions. And I would like to take 3 or 4 classes on framing WH questions, and each time I will talk about the rule, how we can make the question, and after telling you the rules and regulations, I will give you some examples. And my dear students, I have a request here. you are requested to give me the solution of the sentences that I will give you after the rules are learned. And you are requested to write your answer in the comment box, and after the class is over, I will have a look what you have written. So my dear students, I am going to give you a list of WH words, and these WH words should be placed at the beginning of sentence. I can say where, when, how, where, when, how, why, who, whom, whose, which, how much, how many, how long. Okay, look at these are the WH words: where, when, how, why, who, whom, whose, which, how much, how many, how long. Dear students, look at please. I would request you not to use any who, because in order to make WH questions, you can all the time use who, and the examiners will not take it. That's why I request you not to use who. You can use these WH words. But question arises. Where and how we should use these WH words. In which position we need to use where, in which position we need to use when, then how, then why, then whose, then which, then how much, then how many, how long. In order to learn this, I'd like to tell you something different. My dear students, you know that, or I can say it is a fact that every English sentence gives us information. Every English sentence gives us information. And this information may be about a place, maybe about a thing, maybe about a cause, maybe about a manner, okay, maybe about a time. In order to know the time or place or manner or age or height, we need to use these words. Look at the board. If you want to know about the place, if you want to know about a place, you must have to use where. That means if you get any information about a place in an assertive sentence, in order to create WH questions, you must have to use where. And when you are going to use where, the place will not be used again, because where has been replaced by the place. Let us give an example. Look at please. At first I am going to start with where. Dear students, look at the board. Rakib went to market. Rakib went to market yesterday. Dear students, look at the board. Rakib went to market yesterday. In this sentence, I have got three pieces of information. I can create question to know about the subject. I can create question to know about the place. I can create question to know about the time. Okay. If you want to know about the time, like yesterday, you have to make question with when. In order to know the information of a place, you have to use where. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I think you have got something about the uses of WH words. If you get information regarding place, you have to use where. If information is given about time, you have to use when. If information is given regarding manner, how something is done, you have to use how. If you want to know the cause of an action, you have to use why. Okay, and I will tell you about all the WH words. At first I will start with where. I will tell you the process how to make questions with where. And at the very beginning of my lecture, I have told you that if you use these WH words at the beginning of a sentence, you must have to maintain a particular standard structure after WH words. And what is the structure? I will tell you right now. Okay, so dear students, I have given you a sample question. Now I would like to create question. I want to know the place. I want to know the place. That's why I need to make question with where. If I put where, I will be able to know the information regarding market. That's why market will not be used. And if you make WH questions with WH words, you must have to maintain a particular structure. And what is the structure? This structure is actually called inversion. You have to maintain inversion after WH words. You have to maintain inversion, my dear students. What is inversion? What is inversion? Look at this. I am shouting because I want to make you understand what inversion is. Because each time when you are going to create WH questions, you must have to use inversion after where, when, how, why. What is inversion? Look at this. I was playing. Look at please. We know that in an English sentence, the verb follows the subject. That means the subject is followed by the verb. In other words, I can say in an English sentence, naturally, the subject comes initially. Then the verb comes. That is, the verb follows the subject. At first, the subject comes, then the verb. So, this verb follows the subject. What will happen if I put the verb here? Was I playing? Inversion means the process. Inversion means the process by which you place the auxiliary verb before the subject. So what is inversion, my dear students? Inversion means the process by which we place the auxiliary verb of the sentence before the subject. And you know that if you place auxiliary verb before the subject, you create interrogative sentence. In an interrogative sentence, you must have to place the auxiliary verb before the subject. In most of the cases, there are some exceptions, I think. So, in order to create WH questions with some WH words, you must have to ensure inversion. And what is inversion? Inversion refers to the process by which we place the auxiliary verb before the subject. I did not go there. I did not go there. This is an assertive sentence. If I say, did I go there? Did I go there? Did is the auxiliary verb. I have placed the verb before the subject. This process is called inversion. Actually, in English, there are some ways, there are some placements where you need to use inversion. And in order to create question, inversion is used. So I need to use auxiliary verb before the subject if I want to create WH questions with where. Okay, and now I'd like to tell you how we can. I'd like to tell you how we can get an auxiliary verb from a sentence. Okay. Most of you know that auxiliary verbs are sometimes given in the sentences directly. Sometimes auxiliary verbs are given directly in the sentence. I'd like to tell you some of the names of the auxiliary which are given directly. Am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had, shall, should, may, might, can, could, will, would, must, need, dare. These are the auxiliary verbs which are used in the sentence directly. Okay. If you get auxiliary verbs directly in the sentence, you must have to put those auxiliary before the subject. And if you don't get auxiliary verbs before the sentence directly, you must have to use do or does or did according to the form of the main verb. So my dear students, look at the board. Here I have not got any use of auxiliary verb directly. That's why I have to find out the auxiliary verb from the main verb. And what is the form of the main verb? The verb is in past form. That's why we have to use did. Were, did. This is the auxiliary verb. Now I'd like to use the subject. Dear students, this is inversion. Look at the board. This is inversion. Where did Rakib? And you know that after do or does or did, the main verb is used. So what should be the answer? What did Rakib go or went? What should be used, dear students? I think you have used did. Did is the past form. That's why you don't have to use went. You have to use go. What did Rakib go? Is my sentence correct, my dear students? Have I been able to create a WH questions? Is my answer correct? What do you think? My answer is not correct until you give a question mark, because it's an interrogative sentence. So my dear students, if you want to create WH questions, you must have to start with WH words, and after WH words you are bound to use, or you are bound to ensure inversion. And what is inversion? Inversion refers to the process by which we use auxiliary verb before the subject. Okay, if I want to know about yesterday, yesterday refers to a time. That's why I can use when. The same auxiliary verb will come. When did Rakib go to market? When did Rakib go to market? Even you can make question like who went to market yesterday, but the teachers will not give you marks, because all the sentences can be turned into WH words with the help of who. That's why we will omit the use of who. So up to this part, my dear students, I have told you that WH question is one kind of question of interrogative sentence, and mandatorily you have to start with WH words. Okay, and in most of the cases, if you start with WH words, after WH words you will have to follow the rule of inversion. And what is inversion? Inversion refers to the process by which we place the auxiliary verbs before the subject. And my dear students, don't forget to put question mark at the end of the sentence. So my dear students, you have been able to understand WH questions. Now I'd like to start with individual WS words. Okay? And I think if you want to create note on your own, if you want to create your own note, you are requested to write with me, and after three classes, there will be a hand note created by you. Okay? I'm going to start with where. Okay? I would like to give you an example at first. Mr. Ronnie has gone to stadium. Dear students, Mr. Ronnie has gone to stadium. This is an assertive sentence. I would request you to turn this sentence into interrogative with the help of a WS word. What is the answer? Try to make WS questions with this example. Okay? What is your answer? I want to know. I want to know the answer. You are requested to write the answer, please. Mr. Ronnie has gone to stadium. What is your answer, my dear students? What is your answer, my dear students? Mr. Ronnie has gone to stadium. Please write down the answer. You are requested to use WS question here. Okay. I think I can help you. Mr. Ronnie has gone to stadium. I have got an answer. Mr. Ronnie has gone to stadium. And the stadium, I know it's the name of a place. It's a place. That's why I have to use where. I have used is where. I have used where. What is the answer? Some of you have written yes. Some of you have written excellent answers. But my dear students, don't forget to put question mark. One of my students has not given any question mark. Please put a question mark, please. Where? I have started with where, but after this WS word, you must have to ensure inversion. What is inversion? Inversion means the process by which we place the auxiliary verbs before the subject. And what is the auxiliary verb here? In this sentence, the auxiliary verb is given directly. In this sentence, the auxiliary verb is given directly. That's why I will use where has. After auxiliary, the where has Mr. Ronnie gone? Is my answer correct? What do you think, my dear students? Where has Mr. Ronnie gone? Okay. I'd like to give you another example. We are learning the use of where. Okay. I'd like to give an example, and after my example, you are requested to write down the answer very quickly. I live in Magura. What is the answer, my dear students? What is the answer? Try to frame a WS question. I live in Magura. I live in Magura. Dear students, write down the answer. I live in Magura. Magura is a place. That's why you have to start with dash, blah, 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 blah. What should you start with? What is the WS word that you need to use at the beginning of the sentence to make it a WS question? Okay. Okay, what is your answer? What is your answer? What is your answer? Okay, thank you. I have one request here. If you get first person singular, that is, if you get I as the subject of the sentence, if you get I as the subject of a sentence, you must have to use second person you in the place of I to make it a WH question. Don't use I, you have to use you. You means I, okay? I live in Magura. I should start with where. In this sentence, I live in Magura. In this sentence, you have not been given an auxiliary verb directly. That's why you have to find out an auxiliary verb from this sentence. What is the auxiliary verb? Live is the present form of the verb. That's why we have to use do. If you get past form, you have to use did. If you get past part, if you get s or es with the verb, you will have to use does. What should we use, dear students? My beloved students, what should we use? Do or does or did or am or is or are? We should use what do. What do I or you? I have told you that if you get first person plural in assertive sentence, in order to create WH question, you must have to use second person. That is you. What do you live? Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? Should I give you another example? Yes, I should. Please try to practice with me. Everything will be crystal clear to you. Rafi and Shifa are going to school. Rafi and Shifa are going to school. This is an example, and I would like to request you to frame a WH question. I would like to request you to frame a WH question, my dear students. Your time is 10 seconds. 10 seconds, please. My dear students, this is a class for the students of honors second year. Okay. And okay, if you are a student of other level learners, you can learn. Okay. Rafi and Shifa are going to school. What is the answer of the sentence? What is the answer of the sentence? Should I start with, I have gotten information regarding a place. That's why I will start with where. And according to the rule of inversion, you have to start with auxiliary verb after the WH word. Where are. Then the subject. What is the subject? Rafi or Shifa or Rafi and Shifa, both. Where are Rafi and Shifa going? Is it clear to you? I think we have been able to learn what WH question is, and at the same time I have tried my level best to tell you the use of where. Okay, now I'd like to teach you the use of when. Okay, now I'd like to start with when. WH word when is used. When In assertive sentence, we get information about time. When we get information about time in an assertive sentence, we will have to use when in WH question. Okay. Let us give an example. I start for school at 10 a.m. I start for school at 10 a.m. I have given you an information regarding time. Now, my dear students, in order to create WH question, the process is similar to all WH words, to most of the WH words. I think you will be able to create a WH question by yourselves from this sentence. And what should we do? I start for school at 10 a.m. I have been given an information regarding time. So I should start with when. And what is the verb? What is the auxiliary verb? In order to create WH question, you must have to use auxiliary verb. And what is the auxiliary verb? In this sentence, there is auxiliary verbs have not been used directly. That's why I have to find out an auxiliary verb from the main verb. And that's why I have to use what do. I or you, what should be used? I think you should be used. What do you? When do you start for school? Is it clear to you? If it is clear to you, I'd like to give you a question. And you are requested to frame WH question. Okay, I'm going to give you an information, or you can say an statement, or you can say an assertive sentence. I'm going to give you an assertive sentence, and you are requested to make a WH question. Okay. Government has introduced a law recently. I have given you more than one information. This one. But I want you to make the use of when, because recently is a time. What should you use to make it a correct WH question? What is your answer, my dear students? What is your answer? Government has introduced a law recently. I think I should start with when has government introduced a law. Am I right, my dear students? What is your answer? One student has written when government has introduced. This is not a correct option, because in order to create question, you must have to ensure the use of inversion, and in order to create inversion, you must have to place the auxiliary verb before the subject. That's why you have to use has before the subject. Okay. So my dear students, up to this part, I have tried my best to tell you what WH question is, what are the WH words. I have tried my level best to understand the use of where and when. I don't want to continue anymore, and I am really overjoyed with the participation you have ensured. I am again telling you that your active participation always encourages me. And my dear students, it has been a long, I have conducted a class today, but in the meanwhile, it has been a long gap. I didn't take a class for about 40 days, you can say that. Actually, I was COVID-19 positive. Now I am quite okay. That's why I have been in the class again. I am really overjoyed to get you in front of me. I really get pleasure when I get a chance to stand in front of you and deliver a lecture. And I will try my best to provide you with some lectures again with WS words or WS questions. Another 2 or 3 classes will be conducted on WS questions, because there are some 8 or 9 WS words are left. I'd like to tell you the use of all these WS words. So my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you for being with me. I'd like to invite you to my next lecture that will be held very soon. Till then, goodbye. But when you are in the comment box, when you are writing in the comment box, I would request you to have constructive criticism. I will appreciate it. Okay, please don't do anything. Please don't do anything that destroys the environment of the comment box. Okay, this is all for today. Thank you.